One morning, the postman brought Mr. Grimes a large letter. And shortly afterwards, the Raggy Dolls heard him shouting, "No, no, no! Never again!" "Something's upset him," said Dotty. "Let's go and investigate." So when the coast was clear, they crept into Mr. Grimes' office, and in his wastepaper basket, they found a photograph torn in half. "It's Oz and Boz, Mr. Grimes' twin nephews," said Dotty. "Zut alors! They look like little monsters," exclaimed Claude.
Don't worry,
said Hi-Fi reassuringly.
I've heard Mr. Grimes talking to them on the telephone. He always shouts, so they must live a long way away.
"Good," said Back to Front. "Then they're not likely to come here, are they?" Famous last words, thought Sad Sack. Outside, a taxi was ticking over. It had just brought a lady who looked exactly like Mr. Grimes in a skirt, and with her were the terrible twins, Oz and Boz. They were each carrying a suitcase. "Uncle, Uncle, where are you?" they called. Mr. Grimes opened the door and shut it again, fast.
Now, Grimesy," said his sister. "That's no way to welcome your family."
"Go away," said Mr. Grimes.
"Shan't, won't," shouted the twins. "They've come to stay the weekend,"
said Mr. Grimes' sister. "Never again," said Mr. Grimes.
"On the contrary, Grimesy," said his sister. "I told you in my letter, I need a rest."
The Raggy Dolls saw her drive away in the taxi, while Mr. Grimes led Oz and Boz indoors.
"We'll have to lie low till they're gone," said Dotty. "Out of sight, out of mind," agreed Princess. "We'll stay in our bin."
"Yeah, no problem."
And we'll only talk at night.
"Good thinking." "I won't even talk then," whispered Lucy.
"We're in for trouble," thought Sad Sack. "You mark my words." Sure enough, the Raggy Dolls were hardly back in their bin before they heard footsteps and Mr. Grimes' voice saying, "This way, lads. There's some dolls in here you can play with."
"Dolls?"
cried Oz.
"Dolly-wollies,"
jeered Boz.
"Now look here," said Mr. Grimes firmly. "There's to be no trouble."
"Trouble?" said Oz innocently.
"What do you mean, trouble?"
said Boz.
"You know what I mean," said Mr. Grimes. "Last time you came, it took me a whole week to clear up after you. You're not going into my factory this time. You can play with these dolls in the yard."
Lucy felt a sticky hand around her waist. Then she was lifted high into the air.
"Gimme!"
yelled Oz.
"I want to." "Find your own Dolly-Wolly,"
shouted Boz. Oz thought that playing football with Sad Sack would be fun. He kicked him high into the air, through the window, and into the branches of a tree. Sad Sack saw the world upside down. He saw the terrible twins in the yard carrying the rest of the Raggy Dolls. "Help!" he cried. But no one heard him. Oz grabbed Hi-Fi and Boz grabbed Claude.
"Sacre bleu!"
spluttered Claude.
"This is an outrage!"
Stop it! Let me go!
crackled Hi-Fi.
"These dolls squeak!"
cried Oz.
"Look, Boz, they squeak!"
The terrible twins began jumping up and down on the Raggy Dolls to make them squeak louder.
"Go on, squeak!"
shouted Oz.
"Squeak! Squeak!"
yelled Boz. After a while, they grew tired of jumping and decided to dig a hole in the yard to see if they could reach Australia.
"Give me that spade!"
shouted Boz.
"Shan't!"
Screamed Oz.
"Give me it!" "No! It's my turn!" "No, it isn't!" "Yes, it is!" "'Tisn't!" 'Tis! 'Tisn't! 'Tis! 'Tisn't! 'Tis! By lunchtime, there were holes all over the yard, with mounds beside them like molehills. When Mr. Grimes saw them, he was furious.
Look what you've done! After lunch, you can fill them all up again,
said Mr. Grimes grimly.
Quick, said Dotty. Now's our chance to escape. Is everyone here? I'm here. And here. And there. And over there, called Lucy, who'd been pulled about so much she was scattered all over the place.
Raggy Dolls to the rescue!
Cried Hi-Fi. He picked up one of Lucy's arms. Princess picked up the other. Claude fetched her head.
Here's one of your legs, Lucy,
said Back to Front.
Where's the other?
She wailed.
I've lost a leg. Oh, heck. Search the yard, everybody,
ordered Dotty. But at that moment, out came the terrible twins again.
Follow me,
hissed Dotty. She led the way to an old tarpaulin, which they all agreed would make a good hiding place till Oz and Boz left. It wasn't until they were safely underneath that Princess realized someone was missing.
Oh, dear. Where's Sadsack?
She cried.
Oh, he is still up in that tree, said Claude, and those monster boys are trying to knock him down.
Stop that!
Called Mr. Grimes.
I want all those holes filled in by tea time, or there'll be no tea.
It's not fair,
muttered Oz and Boz.
Uncle's a meanie.
But they left Sadsack alone and set to work. At last, all the holes were filled in, and the yard was back to normal. The terrible twins were so tired, they ate their chocolate biscuits quietly and watched television till bedtime, like ordinary children. Outside in the moonlight, the Raggy Dolls were rescuing Sadsack.
Go on, jump!
Called Dotty.
You can't stay up there forever.
All he has to do is close his eyes,
said Claude. Yeah, no problem, agreed Back to Front. 1, 2, 3, jump, called all the Raggy Dolls together.
Help!
Cried Sadsack, and he jumped.
He's only a bit winded,
said Dotty.
He'll be all right in a moment. Can we find my other leg now?
Asked Lucy, anxiously.
We can try,
Said Hi-Fi.
but I'm afraid it's got buried in one of those holes, and we can't undig them all again.
Oh dear, cried Princess. Poor Lucy. She'll have to hop on one leg for the rest of her life. No, she won't, said Sadsack, sitting up suddenly. Here it is, in one of the holes. And he pulled the missing leg out of the loose earth underneath him.
You landed in just the right spot, said Dotty. Well done. Oh, Sadsack, you are clever,
cried Lucy. The Raggy Dolls went to sleep under the tarpaulin and didn't wake up again till the sun was high in the sky and the terrible twins had gone home with their mother.
They can't come visiting ever again,
said Mr. Grimes.
No, no, no. And this time, I really mean it. Never.